So we got to go ahead and talk about Melyssa Ford from the Joe Budden podcast ultimately end up siding with Halle Bailey on the whole issue that she got going on with DDG.
Idea what anybody's take is regarding this. So I'd love to hear it. I know Mel.
I feel like the only reason why we know any of this is because he is constantly online talking about it, and after the breakup being completely disparaging of her, making his claims, et cetera, et cetera. Also, when he went on, when he started talking about the fact that she was, preventing him from seeing Halo, he did this on his streaming platform with his millions of viewers, creating like a hashtag free Halo. What does that do? That encourages your audience to go to her and start bullying her without any of the facts other than the ones that you just presented.
But Mel, Halle did the same thing when she was on Twitter typing up paragraphs of, oh, I don't want to see him on stream with Kai Cenat. What do you think her fans were doing to DDG? They definitely wasn't trying to be nice and cordial, hand out peach cobbler. I know that much. And furthermore, there are people who aren't even really fans of Halle that's over here making up fake Snapchat accounts where this person with the account antisocial DDG. This is DDG mother's Snapchat. Feel free to send her hate messages on that motherfucker.
Why? Oh God fucking!
Granted, the person in question is not really a fan of Halle, but you know, we have that all the time. We see that in every fan base, whether if it is a fan or not. You have people who try to hijack the movement, people who aren't even fans of the situation, just want to guise themselves as a fan to try to make the person that they're sticking up for in a hostile manner look bad. We see that all the time.
Which are up for fucking debate. Whoever's right, whoever's wrong, it really is. It's gotten so fucking messy, nobody even knows. But my stance is he comes off as being so fucking wildly stressful to deal with after you've just had a baby. I'm standing 10 toes down on Halle's side. I don't even have to have all the facts. The fact of the matter is she had a baby.
That's
she has
brand.
No,
yeah, plot twist. With
it's
this.
because that's just how I think. I think
your reason.
Don't have to have all the facts, huh, Mel? Even though you just said that DDG has been running with his own version of events that is being poised as a fact.
Maybe it all seems like messy shit to me.
It is very messy shit, but at the end of the day, you have a young girl who's trying to manage a career, manage a relationship, have a baby, and then, there's debates on how long postpartum actually lasts, but it ain't 6 to fucking 8 weeks. It's a really long time for women to start feeling any semblance of fucking normalcy. And she's in the public eye. She has a baby daddy who's going to the fucking world to get a sense of validation or to get them to agree with him. Like, that is wildly stressful. So maybe she did have a manic, episode where she's saying a bunch of fucked up things in text. Why is she being judged on her worst moments when she is in the most vulnerable fucking state? And that is why I'm going to be on her side. And also, he wants to file a restraining order. Child, she filed one first, it was granted. She don't want to be around you. This is the same motherfucker that went to her house, keeps going to her house unannounced, breaks into her house, takes a picture of her bed to let her know that he is inside your house and can get in your house whenever you want, and then rips out the camera system.
First of all, let's lead that with allegedly. Secondly, I'm pretty sure he had an extra key to the house. I don't think he broke in there. There isn't any proof that shows that he broke in the house. It just showed that he was in the bedroom. He was waiting outside the door. And I'm pretty sure Halle probably had a key hidden underneath the mat like other people do, or in a mailbox or something like that by the door to where he knew where it was and he just opened the door. If it was a case of breaking and entering, don't you think Halle would have called the police? In the framing of, oh, he just had a panic attack or a manic episode and just ripped the Ring camera out the wall because he was upset. People are speculating that he's seen something on that camera. And people have been, even though this is none of my business, this is where it gets stupid and messy. People been speculating that, she linked up with Brent Faiyaz. I mean, if she did, I don't care, but have at it. Insecurity, I guess, I don't know. And to the part she said about postpartum being an excuse. This might end up being a hot take, but I don't think postpartum depression is an excuse for you to be an asshole. Like, if somebody is over here trying to make you feel comfortable, trying to literally roll out the red carpet for you, kick your feet up, rub your feet, give you some lotion, give you some Ben & Jerry's, Bluebell ice cream, whatever you want, turn on Lifetime for you, turn on VH1, Love and Hip Hop, whatever you want to watch, you can watch. You want to eat some hot Cheetos and some queso dip? Say less. He got it all for you. If a man is literally helping you hand and foot when you going through your postpartum depression, and if you react negatively and start lashing out at him for no reason, then he ain't gonna know what to do. He's gonna be thinking he's being abused. Because if anybody out there has been through it, especially men as a child, you see one sign, even a hint of somebody trying to be abusive, whether it's verbal or physical or both, you gonna run for the fucking hills. And I'm going to be 100% honest. Why should a man stay and deal with your shit because you're going through something? You're going through your postpartum depression, but you don't realize you're hurting the man who you supposedly love, but you're lashing out at him and you're doing all these you're saying all these mean things to him. Ladies, I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up as a man. If you're dealing with a guy who dealt with abuse in his childhood, he's going to leave you if you use this postpartum depression as an excuse to be an asshole. I'm just going to keep it a beat. Hell, even if you take the postpartum out of it, if you're just abusive at all in any way, shape, or form, if you just have your days, I ain't going to say have your days, if you have your moments to where you just lash out at him, you attack him, and then the next day, like, babe, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, I promise you, that's going to give him flashbacks and he's going to break up with your ass. He's going to leave you where your ass is at. Because why should a man have to deal with you being abusive verbally? And he went through that shit as a child. As a child, you don't have a choice but to deal with it. But as an adult, you think you have to deal with it just because you're going through a manic postpartum episode or anything else? No. Get help, then come back to your relationship. And I'm saying all this, speaking through experience. Look, when it happens to you verbally, especially if you're around somebody who is somewhat of a substance abuser, let's say, it makes you not want to deal with a person like that when you get older. I just think that when women start going through some shit like that, they need to go elsewhere, whether that's to a family or a friend's house. Go to a psychiatric facility. If it gets to the point you're lashing out at the one you supposedly love, then yeah, something's got to give, because you wouldn't want to end up jeopardizing a relationship, a future with somebody because of what you're going through. And even when you take the postpartum out of it, men in general who went through that hell, they're not going to deal with it when they get older because they have a choice. When you're a kid, there is no choice. And at any moment's notice, we notice the signs of verbal abuse and it just comes out of nowhere, or somebody even, for whatever reason, starts having a drinking problem, or for whatever reason, the next day says, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. And they'll try to buy your love back, whether it's food or whatever the hell. Leave. Just up and leave. Just say, no, I'm not dealing with this. I dealt with that shit in the past. I'm not dealing with your bullshit. Now, with that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.